Dear diary, oh, yesterday. This is you get to the point where you go, it's overflowing, I've got too much to say, and you say too much, and you go, like I was at the bonfire, and I was going, I quite liked the wee piece I did. I was just blabbing on about Arnold Schwarzenegger and stuff like that, and I deleted it, and I'm at the point now where my Facebook lives are kind of like sandcastles in the sand, you know. I day them and then I delete them as if the tide comes in and washes them away, never to be seen again, you know, because you got that much to say and you go, well, you know, the more stuff you do, it's seen as less valuable. So then just day one once a week, you know. It's like, kind of Frank Zappa did fucking millions of albums. Does that mean the quality control was shit? Can you have quality and quantity? You know? Because, I mean, you define what quality is. But yesterday I was going, that was quite beneficial. Maybe I was a bit self-indulgent, but you go, I did 2 pieces yesterday. Let's redo one of the pieces I did, right? One of the pieces I did was on just me sitting right here in this space, right, going, and this is breaking it up, isn't it? Doing the live thing in a different location. That's part of breaking it up, as I was alluding to in a wee spiel I did last night about you know, the motivation, how to get going, how to hit 2025 like you're hitting the ground running, that kind of thing, and going into that with reference to the training and stuff like that, you know, and you know. But I did 2 pieces yesterday and I just deleted them because I thought, you start feeling guilty. If we could just quote Ozzy Osbourne, or who was it? Or Geezer Butler in that documentary about Black Sabbath, he goes, you almost feel guilty for having too much fun. You know, I wouldn't say I'm having too much fun, but, you know, it is kind of too much fun going live and blabbing, because it's like, this is my spiel to do with this, and you start feeling guilty. You go, is it? But then you go, is it wrong to feel good? You know, is it wrong to express yourself? Is it wrong to? I didn't care about it being open about. I could do a Dear Diary every single day this year. You know, training diary. How's the training going? I was gonna do another thing. I was gonna do. They always talk about like fasting, don't they? That's a key. There's another breaking up the routine. Fasting. Don't you just eat the same shit food all the time? Break it up. So. Fasting, it's funny how they talk about intermittent fasting, and it's like, nah, that's no intermittent fasting, that's just not being a fat bastard. It's just like having your dinner and then not eating. How is not snacking after you've had your dinner in the evening, how's that considered intermittent fasting? The word fasting to me suggests a long period of, you know, like what the religious folk do, you can, when they fast for, is it 24 hours or whatever, or 12 hours? That's a training element you could do, innit? Because there is a crossover. I assume my consciousness is going in many different directions, but it's the same theme about like blah blah blah, you know, blah blah blah, theme and variation, you know. Ken, you know, you could define intermittent fasting as, or fasting as being a training element, and indeed that is. It's kind of old school, but still, certain people still hold to the idea that fasting is actually good for you. You know, they said, you know, there's a lot of things open to debate. Fasting for the endurance athlete, right? You know, when you do, not that I like talking about myself, but when I did the 200-mile air loop, right? What I did was I cycled, I don't know if you could call that a fast, but they do call it the fasting ride. You know, when you get up in the morning and you have a little bit of coffee, no milk or anything, just have a little bit of coffee to help stimulate the fat burning in your body, right? So to rely on fat, because that is actually one of the elements you need as an endurance athlete, the ability to burn fat efficiently, and that comes with time, that comes with training. you know, you need to burn. So the fitter you are, tendencies that your fat burning ability will be will advance, and mine was quite advanced to the point where, as I say, the air loop, 200-mile loop solo, got to the point where I cycled from Dumfries to Stranraer with no food or drink. Yes, I had breakfast, I had my porridge and my wee cup of coffee, but I did 7 to 8 miles. Was it 7 to 8 miles? 7 to 8 miles. Not 7 to 8, but 7 to 8. 7 to 8 miles at a pretty brisk pace, not too shabby a pace. 7 to 8 miles on with no fuel, so that's like 3.5 hours, because I wasn't going full blast, but about 3.5 hours, or maybe a wee bit more than that, of pretty decent cardio with nothing to eat. So why not take that fasting skill, try and develop it in your day-to-day life when you're not training? I mean, the body, is it 2 weeks your body can go without food, and you can just drink water? But I think that's taking a bit far. What they say with the fasting thing is start small and then build up gradually, just like the training thing. So you do maybe try a 12-hour fast, then a 24-hour fast, then a 36 or 2-day fast. A 2-day fast seems like it would be, it's like they talk about detoxing as well, don't they? Detoxing, and that's quite relevant to the time of year, isn't it? After all the overindulgence of Christmas and the festivities of so why not what's the train of thought there? Why not, what was I saying? Fasting. Lost the train of thought. I do the fasting. That was the point, that when you fast, I've done it sort of a little bit. I've done a kind of half-baked 12-hour fast, Fast for Jesus on a bike. Again, well, there is something monk-like about the whole cycling thing, isn't it? Going off on your own into the wilderness, kind of like Jesus or whatever. I didn't care my Bible stories, but going into the wilderness on your own to meet your higher self, so you can manifest a fucking different timeline, blah 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 blah. Yeah, it's quite fun, isn't it? Talking about the same kind of themes that all these YouTubers talk about. It's the same shit. They're all copying each other. One person says it and then everyone else starts copying. But I mean, that's a good thing, because why share the knowledge? Why keep the knowledge to yourself? But Ken, you're just like there is something quite monk-like about it, innit? Like the athlete, selfish. It's a solo thing. Involves a lot of meditation, prayer/meditation crossover. That's quite religious, isn't it? No, religious, spiritual. Doing it on your own, trying to test yourself, trying to put yourself in adversity, to test your character, get yourself out of your comfort zone so you can grow, because that's what life is, isn't it? And the monk thing is all about sacrifice, innit, and routine, and so I was going to do a video about that, taking that video about the monk talking about stuff and then like mashing it up with some cycling stuff, but being there, done it, nobody would watch the shit anyway. But it's kind of in my head, isn't it? That idea. It's not that blow your mind concept, is it? To see these things as similar, but so you can use that. You could do the fasting thing, and they say in the cycling community they've kind of tried to debunk, or supposedly they say there's different schools of thought. Different. Do you believe this, or do you believe? They say, the fasting ride has been debunked as to its effectiveness, as to its supposedly they say now, it's a myth that it is good for you. But I would say, I think it is good, because O'Brien talks in his book about it, and he was world champion, multiple world champion, and he said it was good, so he must be talking the truth. And just in your own experience as well. The idea of the fasted ride is, obviously, as I've said, you've got low glycogen store. You're not relying on carbs for energy. You're when they say full ketosis, maybe it is, I think you can full, but you can't. But the basic idea that you're burning fat, and also supposedly the fasting thing also helps with mitochondrial growth. You know, the little energy burning factories in your muscles. It improves muscle tone and muscle responsiveness, and all the, you know, there's a list of technical medical terms about all the different wee bits about how it fires better and with lack of. I think just, and I've discovered that it was quite hilarious, right? I did the Kirkcudbright Loop, 70 odd miles, years ago. I did it the fastest I'd ever done it on 0 food and drink. Obviously I'd had breakfast beforehand, but there was no food and drink en route. So that's like a 3.5 hour ride thereabouts, with no food or drink, no refueling, and I had the little insurance policy of the little diluting juice on the, just in case I needed it. But it was, you know, really that, you know, and I think that was quite, on one level it just gives you confidence. It makes you think, well, I don't need food. I know what I'm capable of, know what my body's capable of. So it's good to push those boundaries, because you go, well, if I get stuck somewhere and I've no money, or the shop's shut, or or I haven't brought enough calories, at least I know that I won't suffer from the bonk, in inverted commas, which is when you run out of complete glycogen stores in your liver and everywhere, and you're left fucked, basically. They should cut that, shouldn't they? Just being fucked, where you feel like punch drunk and dizzy and you can't go on. But as I say, the well-trained athlete will be able to run on low or no carbs better than the next man, you know. So that's an area worth training. So, you know, that's basically what it is, you know. How's the weight, Dave? The weight's at 12 stone 7, which is quite a lot, really. To get to 12, that should be 11 stone. How crazy is that? You wouldn't think, looking at me, would you? But I've got 1 stone and 7 pounds to lose, but do I really care? Because again, the highly trained athlete is able to burn more calories and lose weight quicker than the next man, you know. And will we debunk the whole calories in, calories out thing, you know, or just look it up, you know? It's not really about that. It's about, here's a point about exercise. Exercise isn't good because it burns calories. Exercise is good for, you can list them. Look up Robert Lustig, he gives all the details, and he's more got the credentials, but I'm just quoting him, that the idea is that exercise isn't good for losing weight. You will lose weight, but not for the reason that most people think, you know, I'm burning calories. Well, you're going to have to eat them and replace them anyway. That's not really the point. The point is that exercise promotes more mitochondrial growth. It makes you able to burn. It improves your metabolic system, the metabolic health. Eating the right foods is important, but exercise improves autophagy, things like this. Autophagy, I can't even remember the full list, but autophagy is your ability to, clear it, damaged, just your whole system becomes more efficient, doesn't it? Dealing with energy, you know, to the point that you're not so that you're not putting on more weight than you should do. So it's got all because of the sugar, really, into it. At the end of the day, alcohol and sugar and eating a shit diet means you eat more. It's like eating the wrong things, isn't it? We eat bread, stuff like that. It's not that it puffs up your stomach, it's because it promotes insulin spikes, you know, that we're getting off top. What is this fucking topic? Promotes insulin spikes, so that insulin resistance, you know, where you get to the point where you're eating the wrong foods and you're pancreas is working harder, and you're basically exercise helps with more stable insulin levels, which is good for weight. So it's not really to do with calories, you know. But that was an interesting one, wasn't it? When I did looking at some ultra distance rides, and you look at it, you go, it says on the Strava, obviously it's an estimated kind of figure, but it says, I think one of them was, it said like 12,000 calories that I burned. Don't know how it works that out, but roughly that's what it estimated that I burnt off, you know. So I think that's so you got to replace them. But as I say, going to the fat burning thing, the more efficient you are as an athlete, you're able to burn more of your fat for fuel than so that's a part of the weight loss thing, isn't it? How exercise helps. The fitter you get as an endurance athlete, you're able to burn more fat, more a proportion of your fat is used. So yeah, to a certain extent, exercise helps with that, you know, but with weight loss in that way. So you could literally have fuck all to eat, and I could literally do that, have fuck all to eat on a 70 odd mile bike ride, and you'd be burning about 3,000-4,000 calories, right? And then this is an interesting one, I've talked about this before, but I've come back from bike rides, right, where I've actually felt this. It's quite a cool thing to feel. You go, oh, I'm actually feeling this. It's not just a theory. I can actually feel I'm burning fat. It's a weird thing. And at the end of the ride, you go, I've done all that work, and I'm not hungry. How is that even possible? Because you're in fat burning mode, because your body's had to do that. And I've been like, in the evening, I've been like, I've just burnt all those calories, and I'm not even hungry, you know, because there's a kind of problem where you're on the carb train, you know. I didn't really buy into the whole full protein high ketogenic diet. I didn't really buy into that, you know, but equally I didn't buy into like eating loads of white bread, and potatoes are bad for me for putting on weight. You actually can see that as well. Potatoes spike your blood sugar, and then you've eaten. It's the same thing that happens with bread, isn't it? You eat too much, especially even like they go, oh, you eat fresh bread, freshly made bread. Well, you end up. You ever notice this? You eat 2 or 3 slices straight out of the oven with a bit of, and then within half an hour you're craving more of it. It's like addictive, you know, because bread's quite bad for that, for not filling you up. It's not really that great a fuel, because it promotes more insulin release, and then makes you doesn't fill you up while still piling in calories. So if you eat fibrous foods and good quality diet, then that doesn't happen so much, does it? But anyway, I'm blabbing on. I'm just doing this for a laugh, just before I get to work, because whatever, you know. But so basically what I'm saying is, getting 7 pounds over 12 stone, so I could lose 7 pounds in 2-3 days quite easily, just by not necessarily fasting. I suppose I could intermittently fast and just eat a good diet, and there's nothing. Meat's good for that, innit? A wee Greggs sausage roll keeps you full till 3 o'clock. So anyway, what the fuck is the point of this? There was a point to this originally, but really, essentially, it's just a man prattling on to bore the audience, to annoy the audience, you know. There is no audience in it, so it's all. But as I've said before, sometimes you get more sense talking to yourself, because I brought up something yesterday with someone I was talking about. That was the thing earlier on. I was saying, right, I'll just redo that. Take 2 on this one. Yesterday I deleted it or made it, because I listened back to it. I'm going, I made a wee mistake there. The point was, I was basically doing a thing. I was saying, They called Dave crazy for They called Dave crazy for this is the abridged version, right? They called Dave crazy for doing this, that, the next thing, and all this stuff, and for indulging in outrageous conspiracy theories 15, 20 years ago. And then you fast forward, and I'm involved in a project that involves a mainstream program tackling conspiracy theories and government cover-ups. So the only thing people hate more than the truth is the person telling it. You know? Like, folk look at you like you're no credible. And I go, who's got a last laugh? Because, yeah, so that speaks to the whole theme about what I've been saying about keep speaking your truth, man. If you know what you know, then that's cool. Don't let anyone else tell you that you didn't know, and don't let anyone else make you feel small and that you don't know certain things. I know certain things. You know some things, I know some things. So don't let folk patronise your condescension. It's funny, as I said, takes a fucking Oscar-winning, credible, well-known actor to tackle some of the stuff for folk to go, oh, maybe there's credibility in these conspiracy theories. And you know, it's funny, isn't it, being a non-entity, saying things. I've said shitloads of things that I think are valid, and you bring up things, and you just talk about certain things, and folk are just devaluing everything you say, and you go, I'll not be around, there's the other one, in 2025, I'll not be around folk that want to gaslight me and want to make out, downgrade my opinions of anything. Like, I'm not like the most well-read or the most intelligent person in the world, but I do know some things. So if folk didn't want to, yeah, the people pulling you down and making out you to be like less wise, less intelligent, just less of a person than you know you actually are. I'm not going to be around those people. I was watching a YouTuber who was talking the other day about this. It's like, you ever in a room with folk and the way that they're talking to you is just so fucking stupid. The way they talk over you. They don't. You can tell the way they look at you that they think you're stupid, and you're going, I think it's the other way around. You're a bit thick. So you can't be having conversations with folk that aren't really. You can't be an open-minded person, willing to. I'm not even talking about big conversations. I'm just talking about like interactions with folk, and they're not on your level. You can't be having those. That's what I'll not be doing in 2025. There's levels of, you know. I'll be maintaining my boundaries and talking. Not giving on myself with certain things where it's not appreciated. You know, when you say something cool, it's seen as a pile of dog shit. You know. But ken your own worth. Hashtag under the radar. Keep doing what you're doing. Get on with it, and value yourself. There you go. That's what I'm going to do in 2025. Value yourself. Do you know? And no celebrate your achievements with folk that didn't want you to do well. There's the line. But no luck, you're not going to be able to stop me doing well. I could do better in 2025. So anyway, right, blah blah. That was a bit kind of ruin the hussies and blah blah blah. But stream of consciousness, that's what a few folk have said. Stream of consciousness, it's alright, innit? Ken, it's just, you know, what it is, Ken, right?